But our top story, this is a guy that I've been wanting to talk to for several days since he first hit the news.
The Big Lead, Dori Monson Show exclusive.
In the wake of the tragic shooting last week in Lake City, there was so much confusion. There still is as to why this guy did what he did. There was one point of unanimity immediately, and as the days have gone by, it's become even stronger that the Metro bus driver who was shot and then backed his bus up to take his passengers out of danger is a hero. And as I said last week, the word hero is one I do not throw around lightly, but I really wanted to chat with this man. His name is Eric Stark, and he joins us here on KIRO Radio. Eric, I really appreciate you taking the time with me this afternoon.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thanks, Dori.
Okay, so I know that you've recounted this, and I've seen you do a couple of interviews, and I'm just going to ask you some of the same things. If you can just take me through this chronologically. It was a nice afternoon and absolutely nothing unremarkable about it, right?
Yep, just a regular afternoon.
So you're driving down the road, and tell me when it went from regular to nightmarish.
Yeah, so I'm driving the 75 inbound, which means from kind of north to south towards Seattle. And I turned the corner off of 125th where it turns into Sandpoint Way. And so I'm coming around the corner, and I look up ahead at the bus zone at 123rd, and I see a guy who looks like he's running for the bus stop. So he's running for the bus stop, and he tripped and just face planted the pavement. I mean, this guy fell hard, and I thought, oh, man, he's hurt. You know, I'm probably going to have to call for medical attention for this guy. And as I'm getting closer, he rolled over on his back, and his arm was out to the side, his right arm, and I'm like, is that a gun in his hand? Looked like he had a Glock in his hand. And I thought, well, that's weird. And then he got to his feet, like very calmly. He got to his feet. He got into a shooting stance, just like you're shooting a paper target at the range.
Yeah.
And at this point, I've stopped the bus. I'm not at the bus zone because I don't know what's going on. I still don't know what's going on because it's just so surreal. And then I hear the report of the gun, and the glass in the windshield breaks, and I felt, something hit my side, my left side.
So in relation to the bus, he's in front of the bus, in the middle of the road, in the stance facing you?
Yeah, he's not in the middle of the road. That's the thing. He's on the shoulder just near the bus shelter. Like he's a couple feet back from the bus shelter, as I recall. He's out of the roadway. But, yeah, he's facing directly at me. We're facing each other. I don't know how far away he was, 10, 15 yards maybe.
So you felt something in your side, and how do you process and what you're seeing and what you're physically experiencing? How does all of that come together to make any sense at all out of this nightmare?
Well, yeah, the wondering was over what he was doing. I mean, I still don't know why he did what he did, but I knew the guy shot me and was trying to shoot me, or at least the bus. And so it hurt. And the first thing that went through my head is, I've been shot. I've been shot in the left chest. And I thought, well, that's not good.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm not afraid to die, but I don't want to die today. And I don't want any of these people on my bus for whom I'm responsible. I don't want any of them to die today. So I leaned over to the right so I could get below the level of the windshield so I wouldn't be an easy target and I'd have some cover. And I just had to do a really quick, 2-second assessment. Okay, I'm conscious, I'm breathing, I'm thinking, I'm talking, I can move my hands and feet. And I just said, okay, that's good enough for us to get out of here. We're getting out of here. And that's when I had to hit the emergency alert button that we have in our buses to let the coordinator know something bad's going on. and put it in reverse, which is a little bit of a process in a bus. It's not as easy as just throwing it in reverse.
Well,
and then I just started backing up.
It also strikes me as remarkable because I drive that stretch of road on a pretty regular basis. It strikes me as remarkable at that time of day there weren't any cars right behind you, so you had physical space to back up. I mean, that's amazing at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, I thought so too, Dory. I was kind of halfway on the shoulder, and I'm really familiar with that area too. We lived pretty close to there for a while, some years ago, and I just thought to myself, well, the only direction we have, the safest direction is backwards, so I hope there's nobody right behind me in a car, because if there is, I'm probably going to hit them. And if there are, hopefully they'll get out of the way when they see, because those buses make a backup beeping noise,
right,
and lights flash. So I just hope nobody's behind me, but I knew it was the only direction I could go.
And what are you saying to your passengers? Are you saying anything to your passengers?
That's a good question. I do remember a passenger, at least one passenger, yelling, "Let us off the bus." And I'm thinking to myself whether I said it out loud or not. No way. I mean, if I let you off this bus, we're all in trouble.
Yeah.
So I was doing what I thought was the safest thing to be done. And my wife pointed out the other day, which was a good point. It's like, well, as far as they know, they see you slumped over to the side. As far as they know, you've lost control of the bus, and they're just trapped in this bus with a shooter outside. And well, good point. They had every right to be panicked,
Oh, absolutely.
But I just knew that we had to. I wasn't going to let anybody off the bus.
And so
I think I said no. We're getting out of here.
Okay, got it. Do you ever want to watch the video, the bus cam video that I'm sure is available? Do you want to see that someday?
I absolutely do. Unfortunately, that was not a camera coach.
Oh,
I thought it was.
Wow.
But I found out oh yeah, I'm a curious person, so I want to know exactly what happened. I want to know exactly what I did say and do.
Yeah.
Just for my own personal curiosity,
You said the bullet hit you in the left chest. How close was it to your heart?
I must have been turned. My left shoulder must have been back slightly because the path of the bullet, it went in my left chest, pretty close to my heart, but it went through, it came out my armpit and then went into my bicep. So I still got the pieces of bullet in me. But I guess there's a fragment that was right next to my heart, and it's either a bullet fragment or because it shattered a rib when it went in too. So it's probably a piece of rib right next to my heart. Apparently not posing any threat.
Okay. Thankfully, I and most of us have never been in that situation. You said you're not afraid to die. I know you're a man of great faith. What do you think about immediately, Eric, as you're going through that? Are you thinking about your wife? I know you have adult kids like I do. I know you have a younger kid. What's going through your head?
Yeah, I mean, well, basically what I told you, I thought, I figured it was pretty serious. I thought, I'm not afraid to die, but I don't want to die today, and I don't want to leave I don't want to leave my family hanging.
Yeah.
Although I know my family, as sad as they would be, they're not worried about me, my eternity either. So, but yeah, I totally thought of my family. I don't want to leave them kind of in the lurch.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought about them too. But I had to worry about me after I got us and my passengers. Got myself and my passengers as far away as possible, and then I thought, then I can worry about what's next.
Sure. What are your thoughts on the shooter? I mean, what you described is certainly consistent with his first court appearance, where he claimed he was blackout drunk, and when you described that face plant, that would be consistent with that. But what are your overall feelings about and toward the shooter? Yeah,
I don't know anything about the guy. And the thing that's odd to me about him saying he was blackout drunk is how he got up after having fallen down. How he got, I mean, you know, I go to the range and stuff. I know what it looks like to get into a shooting stance, and he sure had the ability, even blackout drunk as he claims, to get into a pretty good shooting stance, take aim, and the first couple shots that hit the bus were, you know, right on target.
Right.
So I don't know about that. I personally don't have any ill will towards the guy. I don't know what his issues are. He obviously has issues because not everybody who even gets blackout drunk goes around and wants to just take random lives.
Right.
So he's got some issues, and I hope he gets the help he needs because he doesn't have to answer to me. He's going to have to answer to God, and I don't want him to be on the wrong side of that.
I said at the beginning as I was introducing you that everyone, myself included, has described you as a hero. Are you comfortable with that designation?
No. I mean, no, I'm not because I guess it depends on how you define hero, but I honestly believe certainly that just about any Metro bus driver in my position would have done the same thing. You just do what you're trained to do, and you do what you're physically able to do in that moment. And the safest thing for me and all my passengers was just to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe that any Metro bus driver would have done the same thing.
Got it. Well, you're going to be back in the seat sometime soon?
As soon as possible, I hope. As soon as the doctors say I can go back to work, I'm going back to work.
Well, Eric, it's a pleasure talking with you. I'm certainly sorry for the hell that rained down on you, and then certainly two people who lost their lives. It's really shaken this community, but it's great talking with you, and I do appreciate the work you did, and I know your passengers do, and I know the community does.
Thanks, Dori.
All right. Great talking with you. Take care and recover quick.
Okay. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Eric Stark, the Metro bus driver at the center of the Lake City shooting last week.